Hello, this is the trade site Forex market preview and international economic data roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, August 25th and ending Friday, August 30th, 2019. This is the last week of August already. We enter September, which is dangerously close to holiday season. It's hard to believe we're 8 months into 2019. Where does the time go? The dollar index tanked on Friday, puts us back. Now, I'd say tanked. It's actually, the funny thing is, you can look at a 1 year move and you've got a 4 point range max, 3.5 point range, generally speaking. And we moved a point of it today. So a third of the entire year's move occurred today. It doesn't look like much, but we fell back into the range. Let's look at the major daily charts, then we'll look at the intra-week action. Then we'll talk about the economic data coming out this week. So we've got the euro dollar obviously bounced back a little bit. Doesn't look as strong as the dollar. Usually they're inverted to each other, right? The inverse of each other. And this time it does not look as bad, which is interesting. So we've kind of bounced back a bit, but it wasn't huge. The pound dollar, on the other hand, had a bigger day back up. Off the bottom is what it is. The Aussie dollar didn't do a darn thing all week. Totally flat. The euro yen. I mean, maybe we're going to get some Forex movement as the currency wars start, and they're going to start, by the way. Be interesting to see what that looks like. New lows on the euro yen. Pound yen, no big deal. Pound Swiss up a little bit, and the New Zealand dollar didn't do anything. Didn't even, almost swept the lows for the week. That was about it. All right, in terms of the intra-week actions, the 30-minute candles, high to low for the week on the euro dollar. This is what's so sad. 100 pips. Guess what? You did the whole thing on Friday. If you ignore Friday, the entire week was in a 50 pip range, which is basically untradeable. The pound dollar, on the other hand, high to low for the week is 220 pips or so. But again, Monday through Wednesday, that was stuck in 100 pip range. Then was a bounce out Thursday. There wasn't that much even on Friday. So it's a strange week. Depends on what pair you were looking at overall. It feels like summer. Usually, if there wasn't as much else going on in the world and the markets, usually we would write August off and go to half size and call it the slowest month of the year. Obviously, there was some potential here outside of that. All right, Sunday, G7 meetings are still going. Trade balance at 3:45. No, these times are off, so it's 3 hours off. This is Pacific time, so in Eastern time, 6:45 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday night. Bank holiday for the UK to start the week. The G7 meetings continue. Day 3 on Monday. That's always fun. Looks like nothing but positive so far. Just kidding. Durable goods, 8:30 a.m. SPPI out of Japan that night, went Monday night, and the RBA deputy, and there's this governor's speech out of Australia. Bank of Japan core CPI, German final GDP. Going into Tuesday, we've got the high street lending out of the UK, MPC member speaking out of the UK. That's like the Fed member speaking. HPI, the housing price index here in the US at 9 a.m. Index, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Consumer confidence at 10. Richmond manufacturing index at the same time. Jump to that night, UK's BRC shop price index, Australia's construction work done, minor numbers out of Germany, nationwide housing price index out of the UK at some point. Give a 3-day span on that one, by the way. Credit Suisse economic expectations, M3 money supply and private loans, German 10-year bond auction, crude oil inventories. That's at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. Business confidence out of New Zealand, private capital expenditure out of Australia, consumer confidence out of Japan. That's at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. French consumer spending and preliminary GDP, Spanish flash CPI, German preliminary CPI and unemployment number, Italian 10-year bond auction, Canada's current account, preliminary GDP out of the U.S. That's the second look, so that's not the end of the world. That's on Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. It comes along with the goods trade balance and wholesale inventories, also the initial and continuing jobless claims numbers. Pending home sales at 10, natty gas at 10:30. New Zealand's building consents number, UK consumer confidence. That night, Thursday night, Tokyo core CPI and the unemployment rate, along with their preliminary industrial production and retail sales. Australia's got their new home sales and building approvals. Housing starts out of Japan, German retail sales. Going into Friday, M4 money supply and mortgage approvals, net lending to individuals. CPI flash estimate out of Europe, Italian preliminary CPI, the the unemployment rate, the monthly unemployment rate out of all of Europe. It's at 5 a.m. Eastern time on Friday. Then Canada's GDP, RMPI, and IPPI. U.S. personal income and spending, along with their core PCE price index, Chicago PMI, and revised University of Michigan sentiment. There's a bunch of data coming out this week. I wouldn't say any of it's the big stuff, but still plenty to hopefully move the market. However, I suspect the real move in the market is going to be a news-oriented move, and we will see what we get. Hopefully something, because Forex could get more interesting if we got some inflationary or currency wars. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading